Man. You know how you work and then you go to work? It's a big difference between work and going to work. As I get older, I'm learning the difference between work and going to work. I be going to work on the regular. Now, working, I don't know about all that. I don't be working on the regular, but I do be at work a lot. And when I'm at work, I get the sense of being at work, but I'm not necessarily working. And I would say, at my previous job, I learned the difference between working and at work. I used to encounter a situation where I would be working, okay? Now check this out. When I'm working, I used to clock out of work and still be working. Working is the thought process, and at work is the physical process. So I really learned the difference between the mental and physical of work in my previous job. And that's super critical because, like, if you leave your work and you still working and you come home, you're going to stress yourself out. You know, you definitely got to learn how to decompress between being at work and active working, because they're paying you to work. They're paying you for your working process. You know, they're paying you for that. They're not paying you to be at work. They're paying for you to do something while you're there. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely learned the concept between those two in my mental and physical life, because I would definitely say I was mentally and physically burning myself out. You can't do both. You got to pick and choose. You're going to be mentally burnt out or physically burnt out. You can't be mentally and physically. That's causing for some destruction. And that's the last thing you want to put yourself in when you're trying to survive out here in the world. Because the world don't care about you, but you got to at least care about yourself by learning to separate work and working. Yeah. You got to find you some self-care and some healthy activity to take your mind off working, you know. Cause just because you're clocked out don't mean you're done working, you know. You got to not think about that place. You got to not think about what you're doing, you know. Because if you don't, it'll take over you. Now, if you want it to take over you, that's a different conversation. And I give you an example of, you know, you're trying to start you a business. That's a different conversation with working and work. Because you are work. You are work. Whatever you do in working is going to be your output. But when you're going to an employer, they paying you to working. Okay? So you just working hard. All right? You don't be at work all the time when you're not at work, because you're not paying you for that. That will help you decrease your stress and keep your mind focused and keep your energy level up to par. Because when your energy wrong, you become wrong. And you don't want the development of bad energy to like develop in your infrastructure and start to destruct you from the inside because of your energy. So I definitely learned to separate them. You know, I got to do something for myself daily. And that does not include sleep. Sleep should not be something you do for yourself. That's something your body needs. That's not something your body wants. That's what it needs, okay? And if you catch yourself needing more sleep, that means you need to figure out and how to construct that energy from something else, because that means you're giving your energy somewhere else too much and not sleep. But you should not have to work for sleep. That's not a healthy mind state to develop the best you. So when it comes to separating work and not work, you want to have that one thing you go to. You know, I noticed, I would say like people back in the day, and like the married man, you know, he'll come home and have him a few beers, that was his disconnect from work in the unhealthy stage, in the unhealthy world, in the unhealthy age of life, you know. But now we're able to develop healthier activities for our body to help us live and become better people. Example would be like reading a book, you know, listen to a particular type of music, maybe some praying. I like exercise, you know, because I'm a health freak. Exercise, you know, eating is not something. You know, eating is not something that's going to help you, okay? You're supposed to eat, okay? We have to stop taking stuff that we are supposed to do and treat it as a treat. You know, eating is not a treat. And you may disagree with me, but even that cupcake dessert is not a treat. You know, if you want the cupcake, eat the cupcake. You shouldn't have to put yourself in a stressful situation to enjoy it. You know, because this is all about energy. Energy rotate. Whatever energy you put in, that's the energy you're going to get out. So when you start developing this negative energy because you have to stress yourself out to get something that's going to make you feel good, that's not a healthy and positive mentality for us to have to become the better version of ourselves. You definitely want to have something that's going to disconnect you from work. And that comes with your development of healthy coping skills, you know. That's something we don't talk about enough, is healthy coping skills, you know. And you need a lot of healthy coping skills. You can't live just with one or two. You need a lot of healthy coping skills because you're going to need to funnel through those, you know. I remember when basketball used to be my only coping skills. And I had toe surgery and I couldn't play basketball for, it was probably like 4 months. And that really tested me as a person because I started eating. And I never really realized how much I like to eat. Eating became a coping. And, you know, I've learned that, you know, eating is not a coping skill. You're supposed to eat. Eating should not be a treat. Alcohol should not be a treat. You should just treat yourself because you feel like you worked it. All right. Let's focus on our healthy coping skills. All right. Holla.